This is Extra Paycheck Podcast, episode number 23.
You're listening to Extra Paycheck Podcast, where you will learn how to build and grow your own successful online business. Now, here's your host, Alex Soul.
Welcome to yet another episode of Extra Paycheck Podcast. This is episode number 23, and in today's episode, I will be answering your questions. More specifically, today I will be talking about one of the most important things in online business, at least in my opinion, and this is a thing that a lot of people, a lot of internet marketers at least, often don't talk about or simply skip for some reason and let everyone else wondering what's going on and why I'm not making any money online with my online business. Well, here's the thing. I often get questions and people send in their websites to my email or they reach out to me some other way. And so they show me off these websites and saying, look, Alex, I've been working on my website for a few months and I have these articles and the website looks great and I'm not making any money like at all. I haven't made a single penny. What's going on here? And when I hear that, the first question that I usually ask is how targeted is your traffic and how much traffic are you getting to your website? And that's when it all comes together. Many people don't realize that you need a lot of visitors coming to your website, and those visitors need to be very targeted and they need to be in a buying mode in order for you to make money online. Well, most of the time. So the average conversion rate that's considered as a good conversion rate is about 1%, meaning from every 100 people that come to your website, you'll get one sale. And please do pay attention that I just said this is considered a good average conversion rate. So in many cases, people will get under 1%. A lot of people will get even under 0.5%, meaning that out of every 200 visitors, you might get a sale, you might get a click, you might get a subscriber, or, well, you'll have that visitor take some kind of action that you want them to take on your website. And when your website and your traffic is not properly optimized, then what could happen is that you could get like 0.1 conversion rate or even lower, which means that you'll get a sale out of every 1,000 visitors. And if you're not getting any traffic, you're not getting any sales. That's for sure. So think about it. If you're getting like 3 people coming to your website a day, that means less than 100 people per month. And if you need 1,000 visitors to make a sale, that means it'll take you 10 months to actually make a sale of any kind. So yes, traffic is very, very important. And it has to be targeted. It has to be buyer's traffic. I mean, people that actually want to buy, that are interested in what you're selling. So you can't just go on Fiverr and pay $5 for someone to send you 1,000 visitors to your website. It's not gonna work. It's completely useless. It's a waste of money, and, well, what's the point of sending 1,000 people or visits to your website if they don't care what you have to offer? They don't even, gonna look. There used to be a lot of traffic exchange websites and programs back in the day. I think there still are, and people still fall for them for some reason. Basically, how this traffic exchange works is that you could either buy credits or you could earn credits by visiting people's website. So basically, you go to this specific website and you are being presented with a whole bunch of different websites that, open up for you, and you have to look at it for like 3 seconds, 5 seconds, or 10 seconds, and you skip to another website. So every website that you view gives you an extra credit, and you could exchange that credit so other people do the same thing. So they come to your website and they look at it. Now, do you see the problem with it? That, for instance, if I am being shown websites that talk about random stuff that I really don't care about, why would I ever buy from them, and why would I care what they're showing me or what they're selling and what they want from me? All I want is credits, so people come to my website and end up doing the same thing, just looking and not buying. So traffic exchanges are completely useless. You should not even consider them. Don't think about it. It's not gonna, produce any results ever. It never produced any results and it never will. The same goes, as I just mentioned, buying traffic from Fiverr or some other sources. Yes, they could send you even sometimes real visitors to your website, but once again, those visitors are there for another reason. They're not there to buy your stuff, and they're not there to become your customer, regardless of what you're selling. Now, this whole targeted traffic thing always pissed me off when I used to when I was just learning about online marketing and internet marketing and online business, and I would come across these big showcases and case studies from these big name internet marketers who would tell you, oh, look, I just launched a new program and I made $500,000 in sales within 3 days. And, it was really easy. And this is how you can do it. Just, give me some of your money and I'll teach you how to do the same. Now, a lot of them will teach you good stuff, or at least they used to teach you some good stuff, a proper campaign launch sequence, how to build up that business and everything else. However, there was always one thing that was not mentioned or that was always skipped through, and that was, once again, getting targeted traffic. And the guy who sells out a program and he makes $500,000 in 3 days, what he doesn't mention is that he either has a huge following online, or he has a contact, someone who has a huge following online, and when they do the launch or a promotion of some sort, basically what they do is they send the link to that big email list or, as I said, following of any kind, and people buy. So yes, if you launch some kind of program or product or service and you send it to 5 million people who are interested, somewhat at least interested in this subject, yes, some of them will buy. And if what you're selling is well priced and it's well presented and people know it's a good product, a lot of them will buy and you will make $500,000 in sales. And, just like a random number like this, just some of the numbers that I remember back from 2007, 2008, when I would look through those, case studies of people making $500,000 on a launch, $1 million, $2 million, even like $20 million just launching new product. So yeah, that's the thing that always got to me. What really grinds my gears is that they don't tell you how to get that much traffic, and they don't tell you how much it costs to have this kind of traffic and this kind of people seeing your new campaign, seeing your new launch, seeing your new product. So there you go. I just told you the main secret of making money online. You need traffic, and you need a lot of traffic. The traffic has to be targeted, and your website or your offer has to be well optimized so people will take action. Now, how do you get traffic? Basically, there are two main ways to get traffic. It's paid or free. Both are great. However, free traffic usually takes a lot of time to build up, like a lot of time. Well, some of the examples of free traffic that I could give is, well, one of them, the most known one, is organic search results. If you work hard on your website and you know what you're doing, your website will eventually start ranking in the first page of Google for your main keyword phrases that you wanted to rank for. And once it's ranking naturally, or as we call it, organically, on Google's top 10 results, people will start coming to your website. And this is free traffic. It's great traffic usually, because when people find you just by searching a keyword phrase and they end up on your website, which is in the top 10 on Google, they already kind of trust you and they're interested in what you have to say. So this traffic could be there forever, or it could be gone the next day if Google decides that you're not worthy of being on the first page. However, as I mentioned, this traffic usually is there for a long time, and it doesn't cost money. Once you ended up on the first page of Google, it's a really good thing. And you can't buy your way to the first page of Google. You have to work hard, and you have to deserve being ranked in the top results there. And Google is not the only one there, although it is the biggest. But when you start ranking in Bing and Yahoo and other search engines, and you're ranked in the front page for your main keyword phrase or your keyword phrases, if you have many different ones, then it's great traffic usually, and it will convert those visitors into customers. Some other ways of getting free traffic is building an audience or building a following of some sort by releasing a podcast, what I'm doing right now. One of the reasons for starting this podcast is so I could build a following of people who like my opinions, who like the things I say, and who like the advice from me and from the guest, because I have a lot of successful entrepreneurs on the show, and they share really amazing stories and tips and strategies and a whole bunch of other things, and people enjoy it. And, with time, when people keep listening to my episodes and they like what they hear, they like also the format of this content being audio that you could download and take with you on the go wherever you go, right? People keep coming back and people listen to my advice. So when I want to promote something, or if I'm talking about some affiliate offer that I'm involved with, people would buy, and knowing that I would get a commission or that I would get some kind of benefit from it, but people would buy because they also see that they're getting a benefit. So for instance, I'm promoting a program that usually costs $50 per month, and I could offer you a 20% discount if you go through my affiliate link. And if someone's really interested in that program, why would they pay the full price when they could go through my affiliate link, right? And well, podcasts, YouTube videos, YouTube channels is a great way to build an audience. You do have to put out interesting content, and you have to do it regularly. But when you do and you produce great content, people will follow you, they will become fans, and this is how you start getting more and more traffic, and this is how you start making money. So build a following, build an audience, whichever way you can. This could be done for free or almost free most of the time. Like, the podcast doesn't cost much. The setup of a podcast costs a bit of money. And you could actually start a podcast for under $100. And the maintenance of the podcast cost me about $20 a month or so. If you want any more details on starting a podcast, actually, I've set up this really great and really detailed guide. It's totally free, so you can check it out. You don't need to subscribe to anything or buy anything. As I mentioned, it's completely free. Just go to extrapodcast.com/start podcast, one word. And you'll find that course that I put out there for free. And I had a lot of attention because of that course. A lot of people loved it, and a lot of people are using that very specific course to start their own podcasts and build their own followings and their own audiences in whatever they're doing. Social media as well. This is one of the other venues that you could get free traffic. If you build a following on Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest or Twitter, depending what your niche is, your industry, what kind of content you put out, you'll have to decide which channel is the best for you. But, you could build your following in one of the social platforms. And yes, it does take a lot of your time and effort, but it's completely free. And this traffic could be really, really good and really, really highly targeted, meaning that those people will convert into your customers with time. Now, there's another way of getting traffic, which is called the paid traffic. And there's so many different ways of going about that. And the greatest thing about paid traffic, if done properly, is that you could get or start getting traffic instantly. Like, click of a button and you're getting traffic to a website, and it's targeted traffic. One of the most known ways of using paid traffic is using the PPC, or pay per click, how we call it. Basically, you could set up a campaign on Facebook or on Google or so many other platforms, and you pay for every single click on your ad. So, if a person clicks on your ad, that means that they are interested in what you have to offer, and chances are they will convert to a customer. Now, these conversion rates also are so different, and there's so many factors. It really depends how your campaign is set up, how your ad is set up, how your sales page is set up, and it's going to vary greatly. But I remember when I did a lot of PPC on Yahoo back in 2009, I believe, 2008, 2009, I was getting a conversion rate of about 4 to 5%, meaning that out of every 100 clicks, I got 4 or 5 sales, which was it was incredible conversion rate actually, and it was a very, very profitable campaign, let me tell you that. Now these days it's a bit harder because clicks are a lot more expensive, especially if you go on Google AdWords. Clicks will cost you a lot of money, so you'll have to make sure that your conversion rate is very high and that your product is relatively expensive, so you could even you could break even on your spendings on this paid traffic. Facebook is also really amazing in this because you could target specific audiences. You could target people by age, by location. You could even target people that are following specific pages, fan pages on Facebook, which could be very interesting, because if you are selling dog food or dog training courses and you found a page that's called I Love Dogs and it has 20 million likes, well, chances are that you could get some buyers from that page, because those people that love dogs, they will be interested in buying dog food if, well, they have a dog. So if they click on your ad, well, that's because they're interested. And as I said, this is instant traffic. However, the problem with this, with paid traffic, is that you need to set it up very well, because if you make mistakes, if you are not well optimized, if your sales page is not optimized, you will lose money. You will start losing a lot of money really, really fast, and you won't see any results. So this is the scary part about the paid traffic. You could lose a lot of money. Now, also a huge difference between free traffic and paid traffic is that, well, paid traffic, you have to keep paying for it in order to get traffic. As soon as you turn off your campaign or put it on pause and you stop paying for clicks, your traffic is dead. Your website is not making any money. While if you're getting free traffic, organic traffic to your website, it doesn't matter what you do. It's not costing you any money. You could be sleeping and making money while you're sleeping, simply because this traffic is coming 24/7, completely free. And, it's really rewarding when that happens. But it's hard to build. So yeah, once again, going back, you either get free traffic, which is hard to build and takes a lot of time, or you could get paid traffic, which is somewhat instant, but it costs you money and it dies as soon as you stop paying that money. Now, I'll tell you a little story that happened to me in 2009. I believe it was on Yahoo as well that I was advertising Yahoo paid ads. And I don't even remember what I was promoting, what was the product. What I remember is that I forgot to put a daily maximum spent. Usually my campaign would cost me about $20 to $30 per day. That was normal spending, and I just got used to it. It was like that for months. And then one morning I wake up and I see that my account was charged almost $1,000 in a single day. Actually, it was morning. It was early morning. Within 3 hours, I spent $1,000 on clicks on Yahoo, and I did not make a single sale. That hurt a lot. So I got in touch with Yahoo. I started talking to them, and they agreed to basically reimburse me. They said that there must have been some kind of a bug, or maybe somebody hacked something. Maybe it was bad intent, and somehow somebody succeeded, maybe my competitor, clicking on my ads that many thousands and thousands of times to basically drain my account out of money. So Yahoo was really, really nice and understanding, and they gave that money back to me. And then I set up a cap. But what really happened, this is what I figured actually a week or 2 weeks later, that this very morning that my account got drained, Fox News ran some kind of morning story that was talking about this specific product that I was promoting, or about a similar product regardless. So what happens is that you have thousands and thousands of people who hear it on the news, and they all go online to check it out. Now, those people were not buyers. They just wanted to see what the product was about, or I don't know, they had some other reason to check it out, but they didn't really want to buy the product. So what happened is that thousands of people start searching on Yahoo. They all see my ad, they click on my ad, they don't buy, and I lose $1,000 within 3 hours. And I agree, it was my mistake. I should have set up a maximum spend limit on Yahoo, but I didn't. I learned my lesson, and thankfully I got the money back. But what I'm trying to say once again is that it's really tricky sometimes, and it's a bit risky because you could lose a lot of money for some random reasons. And one of them being, actually, as I said before, your competitors could set up some kind of a bot that would just click on your ads nonstop until they drain your account. So they could drain your, even if you have like a maximum daily budget of, let's say, $20 or $50, they could drain it within a few minutes, and then the whole day your campaign is not running because you don't have any money in it, and you did not really get those clicks. It was all a scam, and you can't really do anything about it. It doesn't happen often. It's really, really rare. And companies like Google and Facebook are getting really good at detecting this kind of click spam, or whatever you want to call it. So, it's really rare that it happens, but there is a possibility. And when you're spending money online, there's always a possibility of you losing that money. Alright, so I'd like to finish this episode by saying, once again, reminding you that you need a lot of traffic, and you need targeted traffic to your website in order to see sales, and in order to actually understand the results that you might be having, and if you have any kind of results. So once you start getting at least 100 people per day to your website, this is when you start thinking about conversions, and this is when you start trying to figure out why you aren't getting sales, or why you're getting so little number of sales, or why you're getting good sales as well. You have to figure out what works and what doesn't. And at the same time, don't forget to keep on working on getting even more traffic. Tracking programs such as Google Analytics are really, really great for this, because you could track every single visitor. You could see where they came from, how much time they spent on your website, which kind of pages they went to see, where they clicked, where they didn't click, and all those other things. And you could even set up specific goals, so you could track, let's say, your email list subscription or your sales, and you could see why people. You could try to figure out why people clicked on what, why they purchased or why they didn't, why they subscribed to your email list or why they didn't. So this is really, really important, and I highly suggest it. It's also free to use Google Analytics, and Google offers really great free courses as well on how to use this these tracking methods and what to do with them, and how to understand them, and how to better and improve your website in order to get the results you want to get by simply tracking the behavior of your users. So this is something that I would suggest doing if you aren't doing that yet. Alright, thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Extra Paycheck Podcast. As always, you could find the show notes for today's show at extrapodcast.com/23. You could subscribe to the show on iTunes by going to extrapodcast.com/iTunes. This is where you could also leave a review and a rating. I would really love to see those because they help tremendously. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you next Monday.